I mean, are you ready for the time of your life? The best show, the best podcast on Facebook and YouTube. We're live. Live. Can you hear us? It's the F.I.R.M
Mic check.
podcast with your hosts, Flavius and Ulysses.
There you go.
F.I.R.M. And what'd you say?
Jaeger.
And who? Don't worry about it. It's time to get started. The F.I.R.M podcast at the F.I.R.M 365 24/7. Technical difficulties will not stop us from going live. YouTube and Facebook at a later time tonight. Normally 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But tonight we got to talk about something called pride. We got to talk about something called truth. We got to talk about how, when it gets down to it, when it gets gritty, where the rubber meets the road. That's where we're going tonight. So let's get it going. You ready?
We ready.
I'm ready. That's right. Ulysses, man. Go ahead, I'll be right back.
Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. Welcome to another edition of the F.I.R.M podcast. Pride for truth, where the rubber meets the road. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody is having a great evening tonight. Hopefully everybody is doing well, and hopefully everybody is doing good. Let me know where y'all are calling from. Let me know where y'all are hailing from. We know it's a little late. We know it's past some of y'all's bedtime. To be honest, it's probably past mine too. You know what I'm saying? But we here, we live, we are in color. You know, we're not going to allow technical difficulties to ruin the show. We're not going to allow it to happen. But as y'all see for tonight's episode, tonight's topic of conversation, pride for truth. What are we going to be discussing? What are we going to be talking about? What we need to know is can we pray against the spirit of technical difficulties? Everybody just lay your hands and pray against the spirit of technical difficulties in the name of that. So we're going to pray against this thing. While we are waiting for Flavius to get his stuff together and in order, how are you guys doing tonight? How are you guys doing? That's the question that I want to know. How are you guys doing tonight? Yes, the spirit.
Still having issues, but go ahead.
Yeah. But it's all right. It's all right. We're not going to allow it to stop us, y'all. We are not going to allow it to stop us. We going to make it happen. We going to make it do what it do. Because we know if there's one thing for sure. If it starts this early in the show,
It's about to be good.
It's about to be good. It is about to go down, as they say. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be great. But how you guys doing today? How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Hopefully you're doing good. Here in North Kakalaki, Flav, I'm out here, man, spending time with the family.
Oh man, good stuff.
You know, it has been an amazing week. It has been a great week. What's going on, Trisha? God is good.
Mm-hmm.
God
All
is
the time.
good, and God is, and all the time,
God is good.
God is good.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Welcome to the F.I.R.M family, Trisha. Hope you are doing well this evening, man.
Appreciate the love.
But yeah, bro, like this week has been amazing, man.
Mm.
You know, it started last weekend. God, you know, just made a way for things to happen for me, man, and I'm excited about the future. Excited for what the future holds, and we know who holds the future in His hands. So we definitely trust. I'm definitely trusting in God with some you know some beautiful developments that is happening. But the main thing, man, is I was able to spend time with my family, with my two children, adult children, plus the grandbaby,
All
plus
right.
the grand
Family
twin.
time.
And let me say, you know, it's been a busy week. You know, it's been a busy week, bro. It's been a busy week. But let me tell you, man, it's been this whole trip has been worth it. I'm gonna go to work Monday, bro. Like wishing I was you know that a guy could replay the week before all over again, man. But you know, today was a bittersweet. You know, I said goodbye to my kids. Not gonna cry. Okay, not gonna cry. I had said goodbye to my grand boys, you know, to my twin boys, man, and you know, seeing them, you know, waving by and you know, bye pop, you know, they call me pop. And so it was just like I don't want
The
to go,
love.
you know. But it was worth it, man, and having good conversation with my kids, man, like it was much needed for all of us, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
but you know, so I ride back to Florida tomorrow, 10-hour road trip. So y'all, you know, if y'all remember me,
Remember, while he travels the highways and byways and things.
Jaeger.
Nah, that's good, man. Glad that you got to see your family, spend time with your loved ones, man. As a close friend of yours, I know what family means to you, and I know it's doing your heart good. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of work ahead of you. Got a lot of future. Got a lot of generations ahead of you.
Come
You
on,
know what
sir.
I'm saying? Yeah, it's more motivation, man.
Yeah, man.
Is
So,
that it? You know what I'm saying? So you got to see kids,
I'm good.
grandbabies.
Got to see the kids, man. You know all that wonderful stuff, man. But my boy, my
Okay.
home,
Yeah.
Flav,
Yeah.
how are you doing, my good sir?
Oh man. I cannot complain, sir. I'm doing well. Doing with y'all know these last few shows, for whatever reason I've been doing uh experiencing some technical difficulties and things. But I'm figuring it out. You know what I mean? Working things out as far as, family and everything. I'm learning to celebrate my victories. I'm learning to be happy with what I have. What I have today, if you would have asked me just a year ago, no, let alone a long time ago, would I be where I'm at today? I I would have I don't know. I wouldn't. This was a whole different happiness and joy that I hadn't known and wouldn't have found without firm fellowship. You know what I mean? Which stands for fellowship in the righteous manner. You know what I mean? The manner in which we've been shown to live, chosen to live, anointed to live, endowed to live, empowered to live. Um, sometimes when you put it right in people's face, just how it can be intense. So you have to make a way. You know what I mean? Even Paul said, if I had the voice of angels, you know what I'm saying? But he spoke in tongues as an angel. You know what I'm saying? He was like, if I don't speak
Oh,
anything people can understand, then I'm not edifying them. Maybe edifying myself in my relationship, but I'm not edifying others. So, man, just the way God has been doing things in my life, man, has been blowing my mind. You know, I'm just doing the best I can to show up every day and give, you know what I mean?
Yes,
a
sir.
good
Yes,
performance. And then when I
yes.
walk away, I'll be like, woo, I wonder if they knew I was sweating. Woo, I was praying. Woo, I was interceding. Woo. I wonder if they heard me, if I did I pray that out loud or did I pray that in my I tried to pray quietly, you know what I'm saying? But you know, navigating this life by faith and trying to explain it all the time. And you've heard many leaders say it. Stop trying to explain what you don't understand fully. And I actually stopped. And when I stopped trying to explain it and just lived it, it's like, man, so much opened up in the realm of possibilities that I didn't even know were available in the realm of possibilities. But when hope is what guides you, it should guide you right here, Saturday nights at the F.I.R.M Podcast with your boys, Flavius and Ulysses. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to take it there. And tonight we taking it there because, you know what I'm saying, it's a thin line betwixt, should I say, there's a thin line between pride
That sounds.
and the truth. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, you know what I mean? When the rubber really meets the road, that's when the idea has to face reality. There is a clash. There is a crossroad that every truth meets. And sometimes you run into people who are so wrapped, tangled, and tied in pride. And if you listen to their story and you're not careful, you'll take it as truth. But sometimes pride is replacing that truth. And we're going to talk about it tonight. You know what I'm saying? Get your conversation ready. Tell your friends and family that we live. About to get it in. Ulysses, man, you ready?
Bro, as y'all know, before we go any further, make sure y'all hit that heart button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, that follow button on the F.I.R.M Podcast on YouTube as well. At the F.I.R.M 365 on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that heart button. Make sure y'all hit that share button on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram, 365 24, the F.I.R.M 365 24/7 on Instagram and on TikTok now at the F.I.R.M 365. Make sure y'all go follow those pages. But without further ado, officially welcome you to the F.I.R.M Podcast.
What up, world? It's the F.I.R.M.
Let's get it. Welcome to the F.I.R.M.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Set your schedule for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Saturday nights live for a time that's one of a kind.
Woo-wee. There's nothing off the table, no trolling. We go from politics to religion to relationships to whether or not you like crunchy or soft tacos.
Woo! Forget about a love language. What about your love level?
Oh man, we excited for this one.
On all social media platforms.
So make sure you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Fellowship in a righteous manner. That's the banner.
With your hosts, Flavius and Ulysses. We roll at
6 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Y'all, and we don't stop. Tonight, talking about pride for truth. You know what I'm saying? In the world of exchange, bad exchanges, fair exchanges, there's some people out there exchanging authenticity for pride's sake. You know, it's good to have a little bit of pride in some of the things that you are doing. It causes you to take things seriously. It causes you to, you know, have a stake in the success of something that you're putting your hands into. And so, you know, when it comes to your children, when it comes to, you know, things that you're achieving, there's a level of it that exists. And as much as people would love to say there's no room for it, it is there. However, it doesn't have to exist in you. It could be that, but at the same time, some people say there's no excuse for pride, because there's such a temptation called the pride of life. And when it comes to the pride of life, sometimes people begin to, or I should say, reinterpret their truth about their life, and it's pride coming through. You ever experienced something like that? You ever dealt with anybody like that? I did. I was with a woman one time, and she, anytime I brought up repentance, she was super offended. Like, you never asked God. I'm like, you ain't never asked God for forgiveness about nothing? For what? But it was like, even thinking about the past mistakes, it was like, it's one thing to say that you sinned and you don't. Hopefully it's based off the truth. It's another thing to say that you never have, but you've been saved. What have you been saved from? You know what I'm saying? And it's like that pride can replace the truth that you do need repentance. And somebody will say, well, the truth is I just need Jesus. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. You think that's correct?
As they say, very good question, my brother. I'm glad you asked, and I'm glad they wanted to know. I think obviously the answer is it's not correct, right? It's the whole aspect of, you know, what is so interesting about pride, bro, is how, you know, we blame circumstances, we blame situations, but we never blame our pride for the reason why we blind ourselves from the actual truth, how we can deceive ourselves from the actual truth. You know, the idea of pride for truth is about a substitution. It's about, I have this pride and I know what this pride is doing to me, but I can't even admit what this pride is doing to me. I can't admit that I'm wrong. I can't admit that I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. And so I have purposely kept myself from living out this truth because I'm not allowing myself to do so, because I done put my name on this. I done created a scene, bruh. Bro, I done created a scene. Now, who am I to have to go to walk this back out and apologize? Can't do it. So I am
do it.
So I'm refusing to live out this truth. I've refused to substitute, to replace this truth for my pride.
Yeah.
So I will in my mind, I will die on this hill, bro.
I know I was wrong. Everybody is saying it, but I just can't admit it. You know, it was something else. Now it was, see, the Lord just wanted to humble me at the time. And see, sometimes you gotta wait. There's a time in the season, you know, people can replace the truth. They can disguise the truth. And the motive or what's behind it is pride.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
I really like where this conversation is going, because we've all been guilty of this, of this very thing. We have been guilty of this very thing. Like I can look at what others have done, right? Other people have said X, Y, and Z, and oh man, so and so acting out of pride. Man, my ex acting out of pride. Man, my boss acting out of pride. My homie, who I thought was my homie, acting out of pride. But what happens when I turn the mirror on me? And I'm like, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of this. I've been in arguments, even when I am right. I'm the victor in this argument, but my pride won't allow me to let it go. My pride won't allow me to give grace when grace is needed, because I'm hurt. I'm offended. How dare you? How dare you say that to me? To me? Are you talking to me? You? What? So I've me from giving grace received.
Say that again.
It reminds me of the story of that my pride has stopped me or won't allow me to give grace that I have received. It reminds me of the story in the Bible where of the ruler who forgave one of his servants who owed him a whole lot of money. Forgave him of his debt. Dude walked away back to his hometown doing his thing. Somebody who owed him less than what he owed the ruler was like, hey man, can you forgive me? Can you pardon me? Dude was like, no.
I want my money.
His pride kept him from giving the grace that he had just received.
Right.
He refused to substitute the truth for his pride. And we all know that's how the story goes. That the ruler heard about it, and dude got, he got punished for it. And it's the whole parable of, man, if God has forgiven you, if God has shown you mercy, why are you not showing others?
Right.
Why is your pride so big, hurt, whatever, that you cannot do for others as I have done unto you? Pride for truth. The
what
truth
I gotta
hurts.
say, you ever dealt with something like that? Yeah, I got you. So
I'm guilty.
Yeah. I think a lot of people been there, you know what I mean? When I was looking up to it or looking into this, it's been used as a slogan. People are pretty familiar with it. It says where the rubber meets the where the rubber meets the road. The point at which a theory or idea is put to a practical test. It's where a theory or an idea, something that you, it could be deep seated, it could be locked in, it could be a way of life passed down generationally, something that you believe, something that you do. And whatever that idea is, any idea that you have is going to be challenged at some point, especially in the world we live in today. But it's a practical test, something that's realistic, something that ought to kind of let you know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Even though you may be saying, you know how they say there's two sides to every story. Maybe your side of the story is one way. However, when reality shows up, if you are ignoring what's real, then it can become a serious problem in your life. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening with a lot of people when it comes to pride. They don't want to admit, because of embarrassment, because of their reputation, maybe,
That's a good one.
they've been through something so many times they just can't go through it again, whatever it is, but they begin to reinterpret reality. They say it in a way where they flatter themselves in the story. Somehow it's never them. It's always the other person. Even when things don't go their way, there's a rationale that goes with that as well. But see, if you could just watch somebody go through something through their process without them speaking on it, communicating what they're going through, their perception of what they're going through. A lot of times it's easier to see what they're going through. But when people can discuss stuff, when they can articulate how they feel and how they might do something different than how somebody is treating them, or a lot of times we paint the picture of ourselves in a flattering light. It's just like a filter on social media. There's so many people who take pictures, and you may know these people personally. They're blending in with everybody else with the filter pictures, but at the same time, you know them personally. You know they don't look like that. You look at their eyes, and their eyes look glazed all over. That's a filter. They got a little bit of smear coming off the lip on the teeth. Filter. You know what I'm saying? Certain parts is fuzzy that it just cameras is too good to be that fuzzy. Filter. But when you are painting the picture, just like the filter, you're covering up your scars. You're covering up that divorce that you've been struggling with depression concerning. Even though it was years ago, there's something that you might have experienced in your youth or growing up at a critical point in your life. Something tragic happened to you. It's locked in there. And because maybe you think right around the corner, you're about to go through it again. It's going to happen again. He or she going to do it again. What you say in that moment matters. That's why they say a lot of times it's better to be quiet, be slow to speak, swift to hear, because the things that come out of your mouth in the most stressful times are biased. It's not the whole picture. As much as you try to convince somebody to look at what the whole picture is, you can't see the whole picture yourself because you're in the eye of the situation. But what happens is you run into these people who are hurt, wounded, scarred, strong. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot for a diamond to be produced. At the same time, if you're not careful, you can believe somebody's story and it not be the truth. And you wonder why the person that you're so familiar with is a stranger to everybody else. They don't even want to take you around their friends and family because you might get a different perception of them, a different snapshot if they get to telling stories and stuff. We become loners. The only way to deal with it, if you don't face pride, is pride will isolate you. It'll isolate you in your own truth. And then when you come out to tell somebody, what you're telling them won't be the truth. Pride is a deep-seated thing, man. But when it comes to ideas and ideology, can't hear you. But when it comes to ideas and ideologies, man, some of them we have such a strong conviction about them being right, or these convictions, these ideas justifying us morally or whatever the case may be. I'm like this. This is how I'll never. At the same time, it's like, yeah, but you broke. You ever seen them the commercials? Sorry, ladies, but you ever seen them jokes where the dudes he run up on the girl, she trying to be the good guy, the good girl, and he like, time out. Why you trying to hold it out on me? You let James and Todd hit it. You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't? Well, I gotta take you out to do all this wifey. They got you at the movie theater, but it's the same thing. It's like pride will cause you to have false standards.
Wow. No, that's powerful, man, because what pride does, man, is it's a self-destructing mechanism. There is a self-destruct button that you're pressing, thinking that you're self-destructive, or that you're destroying somebody else, or that you're that whatever you think you're not doing,
Yeah.
to you're actually doing it to you. It is a self-destructing mechanism.
Mm.
It
You're only
burns
hurting
you.
yourself.
You're only hurting yourself when you are working with pride. When you are when and a lot of people. I mean, because here's the thing: you can't convince somebody who has pride that they're prideful. Am I
That
right
is
or am I right?
true, man.
You know,
The last thing.
like like you cannot convince somebody that of pride that they have pride. It's not going to like stop wasting time. It's not going to happen.
A
So
person with pride to be getting talked to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And people with pride, they be like, yeah, you right. And people be struggling with pride. They need to let that go.
you need to let that go.
You,
But
brother, me, how dare you?
yeah, who you think I know?
Yeah, who you talking to? You know who I am? You know my
I
reputation
struggle.
around? I think that's the pride right there, brother. You don't know, I know.
So yeah, man. So it's like you we see people struggle with pride,
Yeah,
who deny they have pride.
right.
They deny it. And so what can you do when it comes to people who you know are prideful? What can you do?
What can you do?
How can you help somebody to see, man, that what you're doing? Like, there was this one time I was ministering to, it was years ago, I ministered to this lady.
Uh-huh.
She had a business that was booming, doing great things for the community. And the Lord decided that it was time for the business to be shut down.
Okay.
There was no other way around it. The Lord was the one that was doing this work. And this lady was like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm faithful.
Yeah.
I've done everything God has asked me to do.
Right.
It was almost literally like, how dare you? How dare you, God, do this?
Yeah.
Because I've been faithful.
Sound like some David would say. Go ahead.
Like isn't God supposed to bless those who are obedient? Why is this happening? And I'm listening to this lady, and I'm like, okay, she's obviously dealing with a level of self-righteousness, a level of pride. Self-righteousness is a level of pride, y'all. Just in case you don't know,
Facts.
people who struggle with self-righteousness deal with a level of pride, and so I'm listening to her. I'm like, okay, Lord, she's dealing with pride. How do I address this? And what came out of my mouth next was, why do you believe God is, why do you believe that God is supposed to, that God is somehow mandated, obligated to bless you? And she paused for a second. She didn't say nothing, so I continued. I was like, how many times in the Bible do you see people who were obedient be put in jail?
Yeah.
Old Testament folk were getting killed. They were
Left
getting
and right
killed for being obedient to what God was asking them to do. And yet you feel like you are being shortchanged because you've been obedient and God should bless it. Why do you feel that God is obligated?
Expectation. You know what I mean? The devil is a slippery devil. You know what I'm saying? He can trick you real fast. You know, they're teaching that hope is the same thing as expectation.
Absolutely.
You look it up in the dictionary, it's like it used the word anticipation of good, but people are still expectation of good. Anticipation is something different than expectation. They produce two different things, no matter how they sound or feel. If I'm waiting at the door with anticipation for your arrival, I'm gonna say the same statement. Now I'm waiting at the door with the expectation of your arrival. They just feel different.
Different. Anticipation, like
One is like
I know
if
you're
you
coming.
don't, the expectation, waiting at the door with expectation is if you don't come in this door, it implies that there is a contingency plan. There's something that's going to result. The catalyst is the disappointment versus anticipation. Anticipation, I wait all day. If you don't come, it's like, man, I was hoping you would. It's a different relationship when you are living your life based off of hope and anticipation of good as opposed to expectation. Expectation opens the door to a discouraged person, and the discouraged you hides behind a shield of pride. The encouraged you that goes in anticipation and hope and faith, what faith really is, has the shield of faith all along the way, shield of hope. The other one has to be a shield of pride. Why? Because when you get disappointed, man, you get bitter, you get mad, you get cynical. You know what I'm saying? You start everything is sarcasm. And you mad on the inside and people taking your jokes wrong. And it came from a bad place. But you try to excuse it. I was just joking. I was just playing.
True
But it's
story.
coming from somewhere. But that's what happens when you have to shield yourself with pride because of expectation unfulfilled. Leaves you disappointed. The Bible even talks about parents not to discourage your children. There's certain things that you shouldn't do. Chastising your children can lead to their discouragement. If we as parents are warned by God about that towards our kids, the way we treat them can leave them discouraged. It's the same thing for us who are his children. And when you are discouraged, you don't believe, you don't want to believe. You got all this hope bubbling inside you, and you fighting to keep it inside because you like, nope, I don't want to believe it. You see somebody that is perfect. What do you say? No, I'm not going to give it a shot. I'm not going to open up. Why? Because I already know where this is going to go and I got to protect me. Pride is replacing your truth. You're trading pride for truth. The truth of God says that he will fight your battles. The truth of God says that you should hope all things, believe all things. The truth of God sends you out like a lamb among wolves. The truth of God says that he'll leave the 99 to go get the one, that he'll protect you. That when the enemy comes in like a flood, that he'll raise up a standard against him. There's so many things about your protection, but you out here now. Your truth has become, I gotta keep me safe. I gotta guard my heart. Even though the Bible says that he's a high tower, that those that run into him find safety.
Man.
You can replace the truth with the pride. It's a slippery slope, but them words will replace his, and you'll be faithfully following your own word as opposed to another. But that's the trade-off. Ideology becomes man's versus God's.
I love what you're saying, man, because it I love what you're saying because here was a conversation that I just had yesterday.
Okay.
I was blessed yesterday to be part of a documentary here in North Carolina, and the documentary is about Christian hip hop in North Carolina from 2006 to 2012. The rise and the fall. It was strong at one point. We was doing the thing. Just concerts everywhere, performances and ministry everywhere. It was a good time to be alive, as they say.
Salute them all for what they attempted to do.
Right. And so part of my conversation yesterday on why it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What happened, man? And so one of the things I said, there's many reasons why it didn't work out. I'm sure everybody has a reason. And I said, one of my reasons that I've seen from the outside looking in, why it didn't work out, is that we had so many cats out here living in false humility. False humility is a form of pride. Why is false humility a form of pride? That's a good question, and I'm glad you wanted to know. The reason why it's a form of pride is because you are basically telling God that what I'm professing is contradicting what you say about me. What you say about me, I'm a son of God. I'm a mighty man. I'm a mighty woman. I have a strong anointing. So many things that God is saying about you. And I'm like, I'm just a lowly servant. I'm just however the Lord wants to use me. Just use me. But brother, thank you. I'm just trying to be humble here.
Be careful.
And so you're dealing with false humility. You are lying to yourself
and on the truth.
And on the truth. So it's like here I am. So I'm telling these people like I talk to so many people who are like, and I share with these people like I've been in a position where I used to rap, used to go on stage, used to perform, used to minister, however people want to use the word, right? People, church folk don't like the word perform. So they substitute it for minister. No, brother. Performance is really just carnal stuff. You were ministering, whatever. Cool. We'll just go with the flow. But either way, a lot of people, and even I in the beginning, was like, if we just reach, if we just minister or perform in front of one person, then God did his. Then God did his thing. Yeah, we just want to be used by the Lord. That's all. If it's just one person, if one person's life gets changed, then we happy, we blessed. But deep down inside, I'm like, one person. I'm giving my all out here for one. No, this is not why I signed up for this thing. This is not why I got on stage.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us, man, a lot of people like it's like, man, it's like, yo, we're like, we're trying to be humble because the church has taught us you need to be humble.
Yeah, that's an honest moment.
But it's the truth. It is the God honest truth, man. We're like, we say one person, but man, we get upset when there's only one person. Like we because the truth of the matter is, and I was telling people that shut me down, bro. They shut me down. They stopped talking to me because I'm telling them, like, you are proclaiming that you're cool with being local.
Yeah.
But deep down inside,
You really want to be?
you want to be out there. You want to be national. You want the tours. You
Do you
want to go.
think that, let me ask you this. I'm not sure if they asked you for the documentary, but do you think that some false humility had a role to play in the demise of?
That's exactly what I was saying, bro. That's exactly what I was saying. That false humility was one of the reasons why nobody went nowhere. Because God is listening. God was like, "Oh, you want to be local? No problem."
Yeah.
And then they get mad. They get mad, and they're blaming everybody else. There's so much drama, so much beef with one artist with another because of whatever the reason, and nobody, including myself, you know, like I sit back and I was honest, like I said, you know, I dropped out of the music because I wanted to save my marriage. Flavius knows what I'm talking about. I dropped music because I wanted to save my marriage. My marriage, you know, my marriage, there was a sensitivity issue with music with my ex-wife. So anytime I did music and got serious with music, there was a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
Because when I did music in El Paso, some things went down that should not have, and it stuck. Right or wrong, it stuck. So, but false humility, man, is definitely was one of those reasons. Like, if the Lord just local, I'm cool with being local, and then I'm talking to dudes like really, like you just want to be local. That's it. And I'm like, no, like I want to reach the masses. I want to reach the masses, y'all. Like I was telling, I was like, you sitting there talking about local. No, like I want to be famous. But it's not I want to be famous, so look at me. But how else am I supposed to reach? How else is my influence supposed to grow if all I'm doing is being local?
Right. At the end of the day, man, ain't nobody trying to be local. What she say, Amanda? Says, now you go back into music. Inquiring minds want to know. Have you?
Look.
What's that mean, man?
It's
Max was rapping till it. No,
it's not that I won't.
Right.
It's just it's not a priority. You know, it's you know, if somebody was to call me up and be like, "Hey, man, can I get a feature?"
You just did a song last year. Y'all don't even know about. Quietly dropped a hit, a banger, unreleased heat.
It's
so
unreleased. Yeah,
will he go back? I don't know if I can honestly, as his friend, say that he stopped publicly. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, but he's got to actually stop first in order to go back.
True.
That's just a little tidbit for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
True. But I you know, music is always a passion. I love music.
But taking it like we did before, y'all don't. You know, there was a time where we were signing autographs. You know what I'm saying? There was a time where we were going to places, you know, like he said, we told ourselves that we would practice like that. We're like, man, we got to give it all we got. You know what I'm saying? And every time we do this, it doesn't matter if it's just one person. We used to tell each other that during practice,
right,
that if it's just one person out there, we're going to give it all we got. And thank God it was never just one person out there, because I don't know what we would have done.
Oh my God.
The Lord should have did that to us just one time. I'm glad he didn't. But just to see what our faces look like, that would have been, oh man, that would have been a memory. It never happened, thankfully, but it can. It could. You know what I'm saying? Man, it says that one of your spiritual gifts,
music. I mean,
Would you call it a gift or a talent?
I definitely call it a talent. I think you know that
because
we
Ulysses got some gifts that there's a lot of people that can flow. There's a lot of people that can rap, but the gifts is kind of different in the fellowship.
yeah, talents for sure. I think and, like Flavors has an amazing talent for music.
So do you, sir. Awesome.
But Flavors is better than me. I'm just throwing that out there.
Nah.
Just throwing
Ulysses turned into a whole nother person. Ulysses, you hear his voice? If I cut to one of your songs, they'd be like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, I can get a little raspy with it. I can get a little raspy with it for sure. But but lyrically, we both are talented lyricists.
Yes, sir.
And God has used music, to draw people in.
Yeah.
But and part of my documentary that I had yesterday, I was telling the people like everybody, I was telling the interviewer that everybody was so focused on music that they forgot what the true calling was, which was spreading the gospel.
Same.
And so like Jesus had an amazing gift, right? Not only could Jesus prophet or whatever, but Jesus also healed.
Yeah.
And he healed many, but Jesus didn't focus on healing. Like he used healing as a tool to draw people in, and then he went ahead and preached the gospel. That's what Jesus did. And so and when it came to artists in North Carolina and the drama and the trauma and the issues, like everybody wanted to be something. Everybody wanted to be that one to break through that door. But nobody wanted to sit back and be like, okay, God, what can I do? What is it that you want me to do? Instead of I have a talent for music, like I knew dudes that didn't work because they wanted to put out an album and had their wife carry the load.
It happens, man.
Not for one album, but for 2 albums. Because
some people, man, them dreams.
They just believe.
Them dreams become nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Them goals become
holes in the ground. It's
I don't know what you call them, but I know we never encourage anybody to let go of your gift or your dream. We're not too old. We're not too young. We're not too far removed from, using our gifts and our talents to cause the increase of our family, our fellowship, our way of life, based off of the principles that we've been taught. We don't just think that they're right. We think that they're righteous. And like Ulysses said, with his story about the past, and I remember him being in there. It seemed like, I used to be, I had to go through a period of growth where, I had to learn how to be happy for my brother, my sister. I had to learn how to be happy and not be like, when's it my turn?
A secret hater. Oh man. No, but
yeah,
no.
And it's go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the challenging part is when you have to face the reality. Like even with your example with everybody, the artists and such. The fact that false humility played a role. Everybody was trying to be more humble in the name of the Lord than their ambition really wanted to. If they had just pushed, you know what I mean? There's people in the Bible where God has given a spirit of excellence. He's given them skills to where they were the best woodworker, the best goldsmith, the best, you know what I'm saying? To even play a role in building the temple of God, you had to be the best of the best. And they were like, God gave this to me. What if they would have acted like they wasn't the best? What if they would have been like, well, Lord, I know you're choosing me to come build on your temple, and I'm a linen worker and everything, and you know what I'm saying, or maybe I make sculptures and things well, but I'm not the best. Maybe you should try one of these other brothers or sisters. And he's calling you to excellence, and excellence that is uncomfortable, but it's false humility when you start to say that you're less than what you're qualified by. This is the thing that qualifies you, and you downplaying it, watering it down. If it's the truth, then whatever you're saying is not. Why are you saying it? Why are you not comfortable with the truth about you? Maybe you are the bomb. Maybe you are the best. Maybe you do got skills. Maybe you are the one to listen to in a time of need. Maybe whatever the case may be. Maybe you're the best one for the job, best one for the position, the best one to be with. Don't be ashamed of that. That's not pride. If it's true. And if he made it true, then it's truth. And if you change that and say something else, or confess something else, or maybe you've gotten a habit of saying certain things about yourself, that's the pride.
That's
what I'm saying. You don't have to live down pride. Just the truth. And some people avoid it, you know what I mean? But time goes by. Like you said, there was a high point, and then that false humility played a role. There was a down point, and then the music scene out there, and you know what I mean, the Carolinas started to slow down, came to a halt at some point. I'm sure some people feel, those that was involved that or not, came to a halt. Why? And some of them probably feel like they still got it. If somebody popped out in somewhere right now and was like, "I give you a deal," they'd be like, "I still got it. I was just writing some songs the other day." But at the same time, time, reality, trials, tests. Some of those same men and women that was involved in music went through divorces. Some of them lost loved ones. Some of them weren't good enough for the job, or they screwed up, or they messed up. They thought they was going to get away with something, but they didn't, and it cost them. It was a series of fortunate and unfortunate events that they went through, and that was the reality that tested them. And at the end of the test, they realized pride did not sustain them. Get back to the truth. Get back to the truth. That's my final words.
Man, bro. I don't even know how to follow that up. But the truth of the matter is, man, is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to truth is really like when, for anybody who's seen a car peel out, there's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot going on, and that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like when you're going through stuff. That's what it feels like when you have to face you. A lot of noise, a lot of distractions, a lot of smoke. It's a lot. And I just want to end off by saying, get that control back. There's going to be a minute where if you've seen a car, just when that rubber starts to hit the road, it's like there's a lot of swerve and but you always see, especially when it comes to a trained professional, when they peel out or whatever, like they know how to keep control. They know how to gain control back. Seeing the truth hurts. Seeing the truth is tough. It's easier for pride to kick in because it means I don't have to face the real me. It means I don't have to go down this path, this process. It means I can take the easy road. I don't have to forgive. I say I forgive him, but I don't have to really. I'm not going to. I don't have to. I know I should show mercy, but I'm not going to show mercy. Like, we justify ourselves. Well, I didn't kill him, so that's mercy.
Mm-hmm.
I could have completely destroyed his life. That's mercy. So we justify, and so it makes that pride look like like truth's cousin. It's the whole. It looks like it because I'm justifying what I'm doing. God told me last year that if I wanted to forgive, that I had to bless my enemy. And God told me what to give. The truth was this amount. My pride was, I'm going to give less than the amount you told me, but at least
give it something.
You should be happy. I gave something. But God was like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, hindsight being 2020, just based on this conversation. Like, I was operating on some serious pride. Because I didn't want to fully face the truth that I had forgiveness issues. So I figured that if I went halfway, that if I did half the work, then at least it's something. And God's not looking for halfway stuff. God wants your all. He wants you to understand the truth that you are more than what you think. You are more than a conqueror. That you can forgive. That you are already a changed man. You're already a changed woman. Stop going halfway when God wants you to get full. And because I gave full, that fullness led me to forgive. And I'm more free now, month 5 into 2023, than I was in month 12 of 2022. I can talk about certain situations and not get angry, not get upset. I'm more free now because I faced truth. I substituted my pride for truth. So that's what I want to say, y'all. But we know it's late.
Man. Woo! Bruh, it's so much revelation. Listen, y'all, if you are not catching it, a lot of the times when we meet, you know what I'm saying, Saturday nights, we get into it. The whole thing about fellowship in a righteous manner is that it's a way of life. A lot of times we're talking about a range of different topics and subjects. What's going on in the world, from politics to relationships to religion. At the end of the day, what we're talking about is righteousness. And we do it by sharing some of the things that we've experienced. The thing that we hope that you get from this fellowship is that you should be having experiences of faith. It shouldn't just all be in your mind. If he walks with you, if he'll never leave you nor forsake you, then you ought to have a lifestyle where he's been in it. There's no way that you could tell your past and your history without talking about the times that he was in it and what he's done for you. If he's not a reoccurring character in your life, you need to get in on his fellowship Saturday nights, normally at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We could go all night. You already know what it is. We were already late this night. Saturday nights live, you know what I'm saying? But The fellowship is what it's all about. We wouldn't miss this day for the world, this occasion for the world. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate each and every one of y'all that's out there, that's been here. Man, we had some strong final words. Facebook, appreciate all the love. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all the likes and the hearts and the comments that you guys leave. Everything that we put up, you guys are just killing the content as far as the views and comments underword. You know what I mean? Some people leaving scriptures, some people can relate. Go ahead and leave a comment whenever you can. You know what I'm saying? And everybody on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I know it's a cliche these days, but it doesn't cost you anything to hit the subscribe button. So do it now. You probably didn't do it earlier. You might as well do it now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you know what I'm saying, and like the video. TikTok, you know what I mean? Y'all been quiet lately, but the community is not quiet. So we're just going to have to hit it a little bit harder so we can get y'all attention, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all see us on Instagram as well, join the page, like the page, follow us personally, follow our social medias. The links down at the bottom are how you can find us at the F.I.R.M 365 24/7 or at the F.I.R.M 365 20. No, just the F.I.R.M 365. You know what I'm saying? Either way, we all day, all year long. It was good tonight. I'm going to have to watch this show back. You know what I'm saying? We said a lot of things tonight that really touched my heart.
Man.
You know Ulysses was dropping bombs. Did y'all hear how casually he just dropped that he was in a documentary for artists that were active in ministry? Did y'all even catch that? You know what I'm saying? Now, y'all, somebody would be like, man, he boasted. May your boast be in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And then your truth will always be right. It'll never be pride. You know what I'm saying? So when the rubber meets the road for us, we're praying for you. Y'all pray for us. You got any final words?
Listen, love y'all. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in for a special edition of the Later Night podcast. The late past your bedtime podcast. But we love y'all, appreciate y'all. And as y'all already know, make sure you tune back again next week or next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Next Saturday. What we talking about next Saturday?
Oh, yeah, y'all, they.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Happy Mother's Day. We won't see y'all tomorrow, but we'll make the post. But to everybody, all the mothers out there expecting, having grandmothers, great grandmothers, happy Mother's Day, y'all. You know what I mean?
We love y'all.
Love y'all. We out. It's been a great fellowship, but we gotta go.